And here I am wishing I had something witty and funny to say, but I'm just going to let you look at their pictures instead and laugh.
1 week off was not enough.
I mean, they're only laughing at the one in the middle.
Who's in the middle on your screen?
You.
You'll notice I don't have a camera up.
But I see your logo and it's still funnier.
Hey, I actually created that. So
if you have a problem with the logo, talk to Krim.
But I know what it
Krim.
represents now.
My last name.
And your face.
I mean, if
Do you
want
notice
I
that
can
it
give you
is in the
too.
shape of a banana leaf?
I mean, would you expect anything less?
I mean, he's the guy who designed it. You'll have to take that one up with him. But anyway, I'm pretty sure you didn't come here to listen to us banter back and forth, and if you did, well, you probably need to get out a little.
I mean, to be fair, they do come here for our banter. That's the whole purpose of the show.
Really, I thought it was my dashing good looks.
Clearly you are
When are we
delusional.
getting those?
Well, first of all, probably never, because you think me and dashing makes sense? Hell no, that involves work and running.
Dash.
And we all know that doesn't happen.
Nope. Except if it's the dinner bell, then we might have a chance.
No, then it's just rolling to get there.
Wow. And these are the people I call my friends.
Steep Hills work with that, Krim.
Dashing through the hotel with a one open bar room.
I thought we said the musical wasn't this week.
Yes, this is not the musical episode.
Dang it.
So we're going to go ahead and put a straw poll up if you want to do the musical episode. The three options are going to be yes, no, and only if OPT is on mute.
Unfortunately for all of you, I'm the only one who has any control over the sound.
You assume that.
No, I'm actually positive of that.
No, I also have a stream key, so...
Yes, but I'm currently the one, restreaming.
Yes, but this isn't the musical episode, so we're fine.
Exactly.
Anyhow, now that the obligatory pre-recap banter is out of the way, what's happening, everybody? I mean, if you don't know us all by now, then that's probably for the better.
Right. I just figured out in OBS that I had to reverse my camera because apparently freaking Discord shows me the actual version of what's my camera seeing and not what it's actually sending all of you.
I mean, I know for a fact my camera's reversed right now.
Yeah. So I had to change that.
I don't care to change it.
Discord's doing something really weird and it replaced me with Nora, and that's not cool.
No. I mean, one more is too many.
not.
We don't need two of them.
I mean, I have to screenshot this just to show you. Not on stream, but, everyone else.
Anyway, as you can tell, we have our normal cast of characters. We have being replaced with Nerestra, Crimson Avix.
I feel like my life is a failure now.
I mean, we knew it was before, but... we have, apparently, he's proliferating out past his own walls, Nerestra.
Wait, did we actually just really clone Anton?
I think we did.
I mean...
And give me
That's
5 minutes, I have to go do a rewrite. We have...
If the two of us touch, do we all explode?
No, just you two. It's like that Time Cop movie.
Yeah. So, because the same matter cannot occupy the same space.
Exactly.
So,
Yeah,
why don't
everything's
you,
working
Nora,
really
why
well.
don't you go give yourself a hug, and the rest of us are going to enjoy playing the game. Speaking of the rest of us, we have that one time that one guy tried to sing and you all got deaf. That's OPT Lawyer.
Oh, you haven't gotten deaf yet.
Well,
I used to be a tenor, sir.
Yeah, can you be 10 or 12 miles away, please?
No. I'm way further away than that than from you.
I meant from your microphone.
Oh, well, then I wouldn't be able to be on the show.
Kind of the point.
Oh.
And we have the one person who was smart enough to make all of you guys actually love him simply for the fact that he's not on camera, and that's Dark Falls.
That's only because his computer will break if he is on camera.
Yeah, my PC is kind of a potato at the moment.
I mean, I'm surprised TG's computer hasn't broken. It has to see him.
I mean,
We'll see what we didn't tell you is TG's computers run on ugly.
you should see my Twitch bot. It hates me. Like, I'm not even kidding. The entire purpose of the bot is to insult me. Am I wrong?
You need a bot for that?
He would need to stream for us to see the bot.
The bot's the happiest person in the world because he doesn't stream.
Yeah. I mean, the bot tries every excuse it can to leave.
Oh, that's
He
about
probably
that.
has left
How
by
about,
now.
how about Hub? How's Hub doing tonight?
Well, how Hub is doing tonight? Well, a couple of weeks ago he wasn't doing so hot, but after you guys managed to airdrop into Bay City, and well, you managed to kill one of the manifestations that was inside the sword Excalibur, which then had taken over Hub's body. He's actually doing okay. He's back to his normal self. And on more important news, Dr. Casey was finally able to wiggle his big toe. I know that's the news you all were waiting to hear.
Well, I was waiting to hear.
So we left off with the sort of manifestation of King Arthur sort of half taking over Anton's body, saying, hey guys, look at me, I'm here, I have information, you probably should listen to me.
Oh, is he taking over Anton's body? I thought he was, like, manifesting in front of us.
No, he was literally speaking through Anton.
Oh.
That never gets old.
Well, I figure you guys either had to listen to me or Nora, and if I had to choose, I'd choose me over Nora.
I mean, you're not wrong.
But with that, I'm going to take a drink.
No, Dark hasn't rolled yet. You're not allowed to do that.
I was going to say, we're starting the drinking game already?
Well,
I mean,
if
it's only a matter of time before it happens.
Yeah. Hey, I'm the only one allowed to make the time jokes here.
But you were
But anyway,
late.
no, I arrived exactly when I planned to. Oh, God! Anyhow, with that, everybody, welcome to issue 4.4, The Book of Fate, Chapter 4, Sunset Memories. I think I got all of that.
Close enough.
Hey, I already know what next week's title's going to be, so... I'm laughing because now there's a picture of 3 Noras on Krim's screen. It's Nora, me, and OPT, and it's crazy. I apologize for the laughing there. But where we left off, you guys were all sort of up in the reformatted loft of your old base / new base / whatever you want to call it. And you just got information from Arthur Anton and sort of where you're at.
Have we gotten any information from him? Last time I remember he just introduced himself.
He basically just introduced himself.
Okay. So Luther Pat's kind of up towards the Anton's. Mr. Arthur? Where are you from?
We'll be with you in 1 second. Apparently, we are having a small bit of a technical issue. 3 Noras is way too much for one person to handle, so apparently we're having a little bit of a choking hazard.
All right, I'm good. I think I'm good. Okay.
And with that, we're back.
Oh, where am I? Where? Who are you?
Oh.
Y'all just gonna stand there?
Oh, no, but I guess I'm kind of confused. Anton?
No, I'm Arthur.
Oh,
Who's Anton?
um, well, you are kind of, but I guess not. You are in Anton, I guess. Maybe. I'm not really sure how this all works. Actually, Lucia looks over at, Phantasm and kind of shakes and says, like, I don't really, could you, I don't, he just kind of walks away.
Well, I could probably help a little bit.
As Lucha's walking away, Phantasm just sort of says to him, "By now, do you still really have to ask questions? I mean, isn't this the norm?"
I mean, I have a lot of questions. None of
As
them
this is
seem
going
overly
on-
relevant right now, though.
A hubbot shows up holding a mirror. And it just stands in front of Arthur Anton with the mirror.
Oh, that's hideous. God. That's not me.
No, see, that's Anton.
Oh, okay. I'm alright. Fine.
Yeah, you're in Anton, I guess. I guess you don't know if he's actually there or not.
Nope. So where's Merlin? I need to see Merlin.
Who's Merlin?
You don't know who Merlin is?
And we don't really. Well, I don't.
Everyone knows who Merlin is.
I don't actually know who you are. Except that your name is Arthur.
You are a strange creature.
I'm an otter, actually, from space.
Space?
Yeah, outer space. Apparently, I didn't know that either until like a couple weeks ago. Well, actually, I guess it was a couple months ago. Well, actually, it was a couple months ago, like 15 years ago. But also, it was just a couple of months ago.
How long have I been sealed in the sword? We have otters from space?
Well, I don't know about how long you've been in the sword, but we've only had the sword for about a week ish, or a couple of weeks plus 15 years that we kind of skipped.
So I've been in the sword 15 years-ish, and there's otters from space.
Oh, no, you've
well,
probably been in the
What
sword
did
much longer.
Merlin do?
You've probably been in the sword longer.
Actually, yeah, if we're going by historical accounts, you died in the 6th century. We're now in the 21st.
So,
As a hubbot drops a balloon in front of Arthur.
So you mean to tell me I've been in this sword for thousands of years?
I mean, based on historical records, yes.
How did you live in a sword
I
for
am going to
1,000?
strangle Merlin when I get a hold of him.
Well, how did you live in a sword for that long?
He sealed me in the sword with that being.
Oh. Okay.
What being?
I think he means the thing that took over my body.
Oh. Why would he do that?
Because he's evil?
Well, okay.
Wait, Merlin's evil?
No, the guy who took over his body.
Oh,
Well, yes, yeah, he's evil and angry, and there was just so much anger and hate and filth and ew. I mean, I'm just a machine and I still feel dirty.
Aw. Lucha walks over and hugs one of the hub bots.
You know we can defrag their system, and that might help.
Don't you think I haven't run 3 of them already? It's still not enough.
We need to find Merlin. I know that I can't remember most of what's happened, but I'm sure he can solve it.
Phantasm, give me a will save, please. As he's talking about this, you, for some reason, get a very sharp, searing pain in your temple, almost as if something's trying to push its way out.
Might want to give everyone dodge checks then, because when this happens, a pulse of wind just like erupts from Phantasm. It's almost like a burst through the entire room.
I'm okay with this. Dodge checks, every. Wait, hold on. Ladies and gentlemen, stop the presses. Dark had the high roll.
I'm done. I'm leaving.
Yep, bye.
I mean, usually when it's dodge, I do dodge pretty well, typically.
Well, to be fair, we're not technically in combat.
I was gonna say,
so-
especially when it's for
True.
something that's not actually part of like anything.
So, what is the, what are they dodging from? There's a damage effect? Or being
just
knocked on the backside?
just beyond knocked on the backsides.
So, the only reason... So, you guys... So, Lutra and Malkier are fine. The only reason Anton's going to end up falling backwards is because... Not because he necessarily was pushed back by the wind, but he gets a hub bot flung right into him.
Ow! You just see the hub bot get sliced in half by the sword.
Rude?
Malkier just kind of snickers at him.
And at this point, Arthur's glaring at Phantasm. Why did you throw that hunk of metal at me, sir?
You think I did it on purpose?
So as Lucha jumps out of the way, he looks at what happened?
Also, Anton Arthur is going to need to make an insight check right now. Okay. As you're having this pseudo-heated argument, something is sort of kind of coming to the forefront of your mind. Like, you've felt that energy before. Like, the specific, the wind, all of it, like, it feels familiar.
I felt these powers before. But I don't know where.
So Lucha pads over to Malkier. Kind of looks up at Malkier and says, "Hey, Malkier.
Yes, Lucha.
Could you do me a favor?
Depends.
Well, you're the only one left that hasn't been possessed by anybody. Can we kind of keep it that way?"
We'll try, Lucha. We'll try.
Okay, good. Thank you. Lucha pads away.
So what are we waiting around here for? Let's go find Merlin.
Who's Merlin? And if he existed thousands of years ago, I don't think we're going to find him that easily.
At this point, Arthur's just glaring at Lutra.
Lucha looks up at him and doesn't really understand the glare, so he just kind of smiles at him. It's like yeah, that's right.
You insolent fool. Merlin is the greatest magician who ever lived.
Huh? Oh, Oh, you mean like that David Copperfield guy?
David. Who?
Not illusion, Lutra. Like real magic.
Wait, what do you mean illusion? You mean that's not real?
It is real. It's just he's manipulating the way you see things. He's not really controlling elements or creating elements.
Or sealing kings and swords.
Which looks over him. Kings? What do you mean kings?
I am King Arthur.
Oh, king of what?
King of the Britons, you fool.
Oh, weren't we just there like a little bit ago? Oh, we should have told them we had their king here.
Yeah, probably wouldn't have went over well.
Oh.
It's a much different English.
Oh, okay. But I mean, people don't normally live for like 15,000 years or whatever. Or a lot of years.
So we would find his descendant.
That would be easy.
Then let's go.
Question for you, quick. Sir King.
Yes.
How did you come back?
What do you mean, how did I come back? I was sealed in the sword.
By Merlin.
Yes.
Don't you think it might be easier to find a relic of Merlin's rather than an heir?
Okay. So where would he have sealed himself?
Well, what was Merlin known for using?
It's been a while.
Well, typically, warlocks and sorcerers have one of two sources of power. Either a staff or a ring.
Ring. Yes, that's it's coming back to me now. He did have a ring.
All right, real quick, I am going to need an insight check from Anton on this, as it's commingling with Arthur's memories. Okay, so what's going to happen here is, as Arthur is mumbling this, Anton's sort of soul and presence is going to burst back forward, remembering a ring that sort of fits in tune with what Arthur was remembering. It was the ring that Graham was wearing around his neck when you first met him.
at this point. Anton, or which whoever's in control, just
Anton,
says
yeah.
Graham. Yeah, it just says Graham at this point.
I guess I could go for some crackers too.
Hubbard has an option of honey or chocolate.
Oh, honey, absolutely.
What about Graham?
His ring.
You're saying that looked like Merlin's?
It did.
Hunter, can you find out where Graham currently is staying?
As far as I know, that would be with his adopted father back in Midnight City.
They didn't move at all.
It's been, 2 days since you guys were last there?
And you realize how many moving parts there have been to this whole thing? I wouldn't be surprised. But
True. But I mean, you could always just call.
yeah. Go ahead and call him.
You hear a phone ringing, and, well, you hear a Ven answering. They said, this is a number I haven't seen call in a while. I take it you were successful.
Either that or Hunter was going to play a really mean trick on you. So you should probably be glad you're hearing my voice.
True. But there's no way he would have called unless you guys had actually taken care of it.
Are you guys planning on going anywhere within the next 8 to 10 hours?
No. Still trying to figure out how to get to Kismet.
Good. I need Graham.
Okay. Is the barrier down?
I'll come your way.
You see a portal open up in the common room.
Okay, I wasn't expecting that your way, but sure.
Lucha kind of jumps up in surprise, like, oh!
Anyone who wants to
Phantasm
come
just
through
walks
can
up.
come through.
Melchior follows Phantasm.
So does Lucha.
Who's in control right now, Anton or?
Anton until otherwise specified.
Alright, Anton's gonna walk through without any concern.
Van sticks his head back through the portal. We'll be right back, Hunter.
He just looks and goes, and you all said I had weird toys. And then as the portal closes here, so Dad, how's my body? And the portal shuts. And as the scene shift clearly says, we are now back in Ben's living room.
Lucha steps through and looks around like, okay, that was kind of cool, actually. Can you do that all the time?
I mean, I can. Not my preferred way of doing things, but I certainly can. So, why do you need Graham?
So it turns out
More just something specific.
King what?
King Arthur is locked in my sword.
Actually, it's kind of in your body now.
So, that...
No, I'm kind of in charge of my body right now, Lutra.
Yeah. So that, and you see his eyes glow emerald green, and he's like, "Oh, yes, it is." Oh, yeah. There's a lot of magic in that sword.
How much of the conversation with Arthur and the group did Anton really?
Anton hears every word of it.
Okay.
Yeah. Also, really quickly, as Ven is sort of magically analyzing the sword, I'm going to need perception checks from everybody. Except Phantasm.
After
I forgot it. Yeah. Well, Lucha will notice it then.
At least it
because
was a bad roll.
Yes. If you crit, I would have given you a reward for it.
Well, there's my single digit.
There we go.
There we go.
So Lucha is actually going to be the only one who notices this, as Ven's eyes turn emerald green. It's for the briefest of seconds, but the medallion of freedom around Phantasm's neck shimmers ever so slightly as he accesses his magic.
So who all notices that? Just me, or
Just Lutra.
so around Phantasm's neck? That's
Yeah. Yes. So basically, when Ven's eyes turn emerald, and he's using detect magic on the sword for an in-game description.
Uh-huh.
As he sort of goes in that trance-like state for a brief second, in tune with his eyes flickering to that emerald green glow,
Right.
you see the faintest flicker come from the medallion of freedom.
So Lucha just kind of walks over to Phantasm, just kind of staring at the medallion, like tilting his head.
You
like,
also managed to, at that same sort of time as you notice the flicker, something just feels different in the room for the briefest of seconds. Like something is abnormal.
Huh, that's weird. It just says that out loud. Come if you're talking, we can't hear you.
Phantasm just looks down at Lutra, a little confused, and he's like, "Are you okay?"
Well, I mean, I'm fine, but your medallion started doing something. It was weird. Just a second there, and then everything in the room felt kind of weird, and now it's back to normal. I think. Lucha's head's kind of like snapping around, looking around, like like what's going on? What's going on?
He's twitchy.
Yeah.
Normally I'd say, no, you're not okay, but, well, weird things have happened, so, sure.
It was when Ven was doing that, whatever he was doing.
Scanning the sword for magic?
Yeah. I felt something very weird, and then I saw your pendant was reacting.
Okay, let's see if it works again. And this time, Ven is going to use his thing ability. He's going to just sort of focus on the medallion of the medallion of devotion as he does it. And I will need perception checks again. They are much easier this time.
Because I will actually be staring at my medallion.
Yeah,
I will actually be staring at my medallion this time.
Oh, I hit the button twice. Just go with the first one.
Well, I mean, you've already seen it, but yeah, 20 was the baseline for this one. So yeah, you all see the flicker in the medallion when Ven's eyes change. And with that same flicker, again, Lutra feels that weird sort of strange, abnormal feeling.
There it is again. That feeling. It's weird.
And you're saying it only happens when the medallion flashes.
When you
and
use your when you use your ability thing. Whatever you were doing.
Interesting. And how does this tie into Graham? He's staring at Phantasm as he asks this.
I don't know. I actually didn't know anything about that thing until we just saw it. But Graham has something that may be beneficial, if it is what I think it is.
Okay, you'll have to be slightly more specific.
Phantasm yells, actually probably a little bit louder than he needs to, "Graham!"
What?
Come here for a second.
If you insist, hold on. He sort of comes. He sort of like he sort of like comes down the stairs. Like as he's coming down the stairs, he's like putting a shirt on. Like he was just like half lying in bed. So, you know, like you're running late and you're trying to throw a shirt on as you're running down the stairs thing. Yeah.
As the shirt's like half over his head, Vance like, just stop. And he walks over and sort of grabs the necklace that he has on.
What? Hey, what are you doing? What are you doing?
Can you take this off before putting that on?
And he hands you it. And yes, I was wearing a necklace just for that.
we spared no expense for props this episode.
Phantasm takes it, removes the ring, and gives the necklace back to Grim.
Well, then what's the point?
Phantasm removes the medallion from around his neck and sort of clasps both in the same hand and starts muttering something that no one can make out.
Is it just incomprehensible mutter? Or is it actual language that's being muttered?
It is incantations.
Okay. Is it a specific language? Or is it just like random incantations?
Random incantations.
I only ask because someone has comprehend all, so. So yeah, even Lutri, you hear it and you don't know what it means. But there is no reaction to any of your incantations.
Lucha kind of pans over, like, so what was any of that?
Phantasm just puts out his arm and sort of shoves Lutra to the side.
Hey.
Then,
Yes.
detect magic again.
Okay. And he just sort of does this sort of slow raise up, and you see the emerald glow again. And exactly what you're expecting to happen happens between your incantations, Ven's magic, detect magic, and the resonating from the not the balloon in the background for Nora, the medallion of freedom. There is everybody's favorite thing, the giant white flash of light. Because if I rely on a trope, it's that one.
I rely on the balloon, but yeah.
And when the flash of light has receded, the five of you, yep, that would be Anton, Malkir, Lutra, Phantasm, and Ven, are all sort of standing in this scape. And I will give this to Anton Arthur for free. You know what this is. This is Avalon.
Lucha looks around. It's like, okay, I have one question. Are we actually here, or is this a vision?
Would anything surprise you at this point, Lucha?
No, that's why I'm asking the question, because I don't know which it is at this point.
I don't think any of us do, Lucha.
Okay, I just wanted to make sure I wasn't the only one.
Phantasm returns the medallion around his neck and puts the ring on his finger.
It's a little big.
Phantasm takes off the ring, takes off his other ring, puts the borrowed ring on, and then sort of keeps it in place with his other ring.
And Ven you just sort of see Ven looking around, being like, "This isn't an illusion, but it is." If that makes sense.
No,
I
it didn't.
think we're inside the medallion.
Okay.
Now here's something that I don't believe would have shocked anyone. Someone being inside of something that was attached to Phantasm.
Yeah, I mean that's been kind of a thing lately.
Yeah.
I mean, from what I understand, yes.
But at least Arthur's home, so maybe he can guide us through this place.
You actually don't feel Arthur's presence in here right now. I will give expertise, history, or any of the like, or a base insight check to you, or anyone else who wants to try and figure out why there is no Arthur presence right
Because I actually have ranks.
I'm not even gonna.
Wow, I rolled like crap.
But the crit on the insight check will absolutely give you this. Avalon is the place where not only Excalibur was forged, but where Arthur's body was laid to rest. This is his final resting place.
Anyone feel like a trip to a graveyard?
Lucha,
Well, we've been to stranger
Lucha
places, might as
immediately
well.
snaps, looks over at you, and is like, no, I don't think I want to go into a graveyard.
Well, seeing as we should be fairly close to it, let's go see where King Arthur was buried.
No, you know what? No. You know what? No, I don't think it's a good idea.
Phantasm, I'll give you for free that you know it would be in a castle mausoleum.
I mean, I figure Anton knows that as well. But,
True.
You know.
Look, I'm just saying I had one of the vision I had was about graveyards, and I don't think it's a good idea to go there.
Yeah,
I mean,
looks
this is
over
a mausoleum.
at Lutra and says, first off, it wouldn't be an actual graveyard. It would be, he was a king. He would be entombed within a castle.
Okay.
Or at least a monument type structure. Second, so you're just going to hang out in this part of the medallion? Remember, this is sort of like a... What's the best way to put it? This is a dream brought to reality. It's a real place that exists within the medallion.
Lucha blankly stares at you as you explain all this, and after you finish, he just kind of nods. He's like, okay, so we have to go.
I think it might be safer for you to go, because the worst thing is if we wouldn't be able to find you after.
Right.
Yeah, unless you want to
Left
stay here
behind
with
in
all
the
the
mountain.
creepy rolling fog at the base of the mountain.
better than a graveyard. Okay, fine, let's go.
Instinctively, even though there's no presence of Arthur, Anton does know the path to the castle mausoleum.
Also,
Only-
I
Only
could
a
probably
little
say this, and TG would agree. Between Phantasm and Ven, the fog isn't directly on top of the party. Like, they can at least see where they're going without worrying about stepping into a tree or something.
Oh, absolutely.
It feels like I've walked this path before.
Oh, you've been here before? Inside this medallion?
I think it's
No,
just
true.
because he's walked it before, and it's home to him, but he walks alone.
Oh, okay.
Have we made it to the mausoleum yet?
It takes you a little bit, but you do eventually make it to what appears to be a giant cavernous door entrance to a mausoleum.
Hey, Lucha, run up there and knock on it.
No. It just stands next to you. It just, like, doesn't move forward. I'm good. You can go ahead and do that.
I'm just gonna go open the door. Forget knocking.
Okay. Go do that.
Anton walks up to the door and pushes it open.
Give me a strength check. The giant stone door doesn't budge.
Just kind of slowly.
Phantasm? Little help here? You're
Muted.
I changed my push to talk and I forgot. The otter's probably a better chance to help you than I am.
Lucha walks up towards the door. It's like, okay, so just gonna pull it open then, I guess?
yeah, you count of 3, let's try.
Okay.
Cooperative strength check.
1, 2, 3.
With the two of them ripping on the door, it's sort of a and it opens.
Ooh.
It opens to this.
Ooh, nice.
Yeah, interesting.
And there is definitely something standing in front of what appears to be a tomb or a crypt of some sort. It is standing almost at ceremonial guard, with its sword in between two hands resting on it.
Be ready, guys. I'm assuming we're going to be fighting here.
Anton walks directly up to it with Excalibur.
Well, now that you're a little bit closer, I'll show you what you're dealing with.
Oh, he's a beaut.
Hi, Lex.
Isn't he, though?
I mean, he looks friendly. He's probably just a friendly guy.
Anton can go ahead, and only Anton can go ahead and give me an insight check. Something about this knight feels familiar, but you can't quite put your finger on it.
Well, obviously not. He's undead.
You sort of, as you approach, Who dares disturb my master's rest?
My name is Anton. I come bearing the sword Excalibur.
Impossible. The sword is buried with my king, and he rests behind me. You are nothing but an impostor.
Anton brandishes Excalibur. Do you not see the weapon in front of me?
He turns, and as he turns, you see on top of the casket Excalibur.
This is awkward.
I thought there was only
You
one
are
of those.
nothing but a liar and a cheat. You are here to disrespect my king's body. All those who trespass must face the divine judgment.
Well, seeing as your king has been in my body lately, let's chat.
If you would like to die, I can certainly grant your wish. You have one chance to leave.
I'm not really in a dying mood, so bring it.
Well, y'all know what that means.
But look, Anton started
As soon
a
as
fight.
Anton says bring it, Phantasm conjures his sword in his offhand, purposely like up by his face, just so the ring can also be showing.
Well, I'm going to have to roll something about that, and then we'll figure it out. Let me get everyone else loaded onto the page.
Should we still roll initiative, or should we wait?
Nope, our initiative is perfectly fine.
Ouch.
I hope I have used up all my bad rolls now. I've once again rolled a 2, 3, and 5 so far tonight.
I thought you used up all your bad luck for the mobile game.
No, apparently I'm cursed with it.
Alrighty, Malkir is technically up. Hold on, I have to roll something first before you. Oh, he definitely notices the ring, and you can see the sort of green color in his eyes turn to red. You've actually triggered one of his complications, so he's going to get a villain point because of that. And you're probably out his target.
Thanks for wasting a 20 on that, at least.
Yeah, no, not wrong. But yeah, you if you would like me to be more specific, you've triggered his oath of fealty complication. Okay, Malkir can go.
So is he definitely hostile at this point, I'm assuming?
It's me.
He's definitely hostile towards Phantasm, that for sure. You can tell that whatever Phantasm did, and all he did was conjure his sword and make sure the ring was visible, he's definitely hostile to Phantasm. He hasn't
Not terribly
actively attacked.
thrilled with me yet, though.
Yeah, he hasn't actively attacked, and he did say anyone who would attempt to disrespect or violate his liege's rest would be punished. So he hasn't actively made a move.
So Malkir is kind of stare at him and just ask him what he means by disrespecting his lord's rest.
He just sort of looks at you. ignores you, like acknowledges the fact that you spoke, completely ignores you, and just turns his focus to Phantasm. Bringing that vile thing in here.
Well, you just made this easier, and Malka's gonna rush him with his scythe.
Alrighty. Malkir will not hit with a 16. He almost effortlessly brings up his sword and parries your scythe blow. Fant.
Hit a soft spot, did I?
You wear the regalia of the traitor.
Phantasm smirks. Actually kind of laughs. And, yeah, the creature would definitely see him laughing.
Oh, he's pissed.
Traitor, huh? Alright, well, yeah. Are you gonna show me what you got?
So what is Fant doing? Oh! That's Dark's attack. It's still missed. Love you, Dark.
Yeah. I'm just waiting until it's close to low health.
Phantasm's just gonna pull out his katana in his dominant hand, so he has both swords out.
All right, Anton.
Anton's going to continue approaching the casket. I mean your master no harm. Let me place this Excalibur on the other one.
That is not Excalibur. It is an imitation made to look like it. It does not glow like the Excalibur glowed. It does not have the same resonance as the Excalibur. Get that fake out of here.
Anton continues pressing forward anyway.
As
He's-
Phantasm's pressing forward, Phantasm's like, funny. You don't recognize the real Excalibur, but you're terrified of this thing.
Not terrified, but the fact that you'd wear the regalia of the traitor in the tomb of the man whose life it cost, that's brash.
He was sealed away in the sword. And we have vanquished what was in the sword and freed him. I have spoken with Arthur.
And now you claim you can speak with the dead. You're a crazy lot.
I mean,
Meanwhile, Ven's just sort of back there, just waiting and reacting to what he sees. Lutra is technically out.
So they're just gonna kind of like, can't really walk behind him because he's
Yeah, no, he's up on the pedestal. You cannot
right.
not walk behind him.
Right. Is there any place to like duck into like shadows or something like that?
I mean, kind of, but not really.
Okay.
I mean, there's definitely giant columns.
Well, he's not
you
even
can
focused on
hide
Lutra.
behind.
He's not even focused on Lutra, right?
Yeah, hey, as far as you know, he doesn't even know you. He doesn't even know or care that you exist.
Okay, so Lutra's just going to turn his belt on and go invisible. And then as his second move, he's going to just, I guess, step slightly closer so he can be in striking distance, but that's about all he's going to do.
All right. It is his turn, and as much as Anton is usurping the throne, his laser focus, because of the complication, is on Phantom. And with almost lightning reflexes, he draws the sword, steps, slashes at you, and then returns to his post immediately, still maintaining guard on the steps. And he is attacking you with Sunset. Does a 23 hit you? Parry.
Yes.
All right. I know that's not by any tier, so I'll just need a DC 27 toughness save.
Yep, you're getting my hero point because of that strong 2 that I rolled. That's an 11, so yes, I do still fail.
Yes, so you'll take a bruise. 11, the worst possible thing to roll with a hero point. So yeah, and his lightning quick reflexes almost catch you off guard as he manages to get a nick in. And then he's right back to his post.
Out of character, I'm actually sort of perturbed that you said immediate.
So how
because
is
it sort of removed the sense it would have made to have an instant counter there, which is actually what I was planning.
If you want to, go right ahead.
No, because it doesn't make sense that I can instant counter something that he immediately does. So, no.
Malkir is up.
So I'm gonna so his like gaze is on Phantom at the moment, I'm assuming, correct?
His gaze at this point, it's sort of all around. Like you can sort of think it's hard to really tell with the way his skeletal facial structures work, but the flames in his eyes, as much as it looks like they're staring straight ahead, you can see them sort of flickering back and forth, like he's trying to take a survey of everything going on in the area. So with your sense and all that, you're pretty sure he's focused on Fant, but keeping track of everybody else.
All right, yeah, because it's not like D&D anywhere where you attack from behind, you get or flank, you get a bonus anyway.
Correct,
so.
and not like you can't really get behind him anyway.
All right, so Malkir's just going to scythe him again and try to anyway.
That will hit him. And will actually deal damage. I'm actually shocked at that.
And then next round, the secondary effect would kick in, right?
Yep, just remind me.
Well, that's what I was asking, because I want to make sure I reminded you if it did kick in. No, that'd be his turn or my turn?
Your turn. But yeah, the quick slash, which is surprising considering if we're talking D&D rules for a second, the slashing of a scythe, surprising it's dealing damage to a skeleton, but alas, this isn't D&D for the damage reduction rules. Some things I still like. DR doesn't make sense for that. Anyway, Fant is up.
Okay.
I aim for its leg.
So, he might end up rolling against this, but I am going to make another roll on top of it just for the way that I'm doing this. So, Phantasm is going to use Black Storm. But I'm also doing this. Well, that's going to suck. But I did that to make it seem as if it is conjuring from the ring itself.
Okay, interesting. He will get a sleight of hand versus perception. He can't actually fail that perception check. So he definitely knows. He doesn't know what you were trying to do. He just knows it didn't come from the ring. 27 will hit. That will actually hit by 2 tiers. So I have to make a DC 26. Which apparently, remember all of those rolls all these past weeks where...
No, I just said you wasted your 20 earlier.
Yep, I did. He is considered to get another bruise and technically dazed. And dazed is actually good for you because you can no longer do that swift step action. Anton is up.
So at this point, Anton's about as close as he can get to the actual Excalibur laying on there. So Anton's going to reach out to grab it.
You reach out and grab a skeletal arm because he moves to.
Okay, and with that, we're going to slash at him with the sword.
Well, you will definitely hit. Well, not definitely hit, you hit.
So TG, I just realized that my 27 should have been higher, but doesn't really matter. Only because I still had my injuries on from last game.
So you didn't take a bruise?
No, I did take a bruise. No, I'm saying my 27 should have been a 28, but as I said, it doesn't really matter.
Well, you'll bruise him again. At this point,
they have a hold of its arm too.
Technically, which we'll get to in a minute. Van at this point is sort of wondering what the heck is going on. And again, just sort of doesn't want to get involved in this because, well, actually I need to roll something. Okay, he has a general idea as to something, so he's going to refrain one more round for right now. Lutra.
They're just gonna pull his crossbow out and fire.
You're probably going to hit his dodge. You do hit his dodge. As was previously mentioned, this is a skeleton, so is immune to crits. But you definitely hit. Like an absolute champion, you hit. Is it 24 or 26 for the save? Because I'm seeing two different notes
that
there.
is supposed to be 26, and I don't know why the heck it's written there.
Okay. One. Good thing it was a 26.
Right?
Because a 24, he would have soaked it. 26, he'll take another bruise. As finally, Anton is happy that Lutra's crossbow finally hit a knight that wasn't him.
About time you hit something of value.
I know, get at this, right? Lucha holds up Lucha kind of holds up his crossbow like, hey, look at that. Point. Out. Shoot. Right, don't hold the trigger. Right, remember that. I remember that part, yes.
It is his turn, and since you all have sort of clustered in a general area around him, instead of trying to swing the sword, he's just going to start. He just sort of stands there, and for those of you in front of him, like directly in front of him, you can see his eyes switch from that fiery red to almost like a greenish, blackish, purplish miasma, almost basically like the three colors of Phantasm, and you can't figure out who he is.
So a normal day.
Pretty much. And he is attacking with Twilight Fog. I'm going to need dodge checks from actually everybody, because it's a cloud area too.
Am I still technically holding on to him?
You're technically holding on to him unless you want to let go. It's not considered a grab. It was just sort of you went to put the thing down, and his arm sort of got in the way.
By the way, I have like evasion too.
Yeah, you're perfectly fine. You're definitely out of the way of it. So everyone is going to assume. I think Dark has Malkier has evasion, right? Dark.
Phantasm has evasion too as well.
Yeah. So in that case, Phantasm and Lutra are going to dodge it completely.
I have evasion 1.
You have evasion 1. That still puts you in that. So Anton and Malkier are going to have to make a toughness save. The DC is 22.
I have evasion too, so what does that do for me?
Same exact thing. It's basically you passed it by 1 tier because of the evasion. So house rule that I like to use is pass by 1 tier drops the save by 5. Pass by 2 tiers cuts the save in half. Drop by 3 tiers or more, you completely avoid it.
Okay, so we need now toughness.
Toughness of DC 22. I think I'm getting a hero point, aren't I?
Yes. Yeah.
All right, give me the snacks. All right, you guys are both perfectly fine, but this fog is like cloying. It's thick. It's definitely something. Malkier, you are choking on his fog, but you're up.
And he gets my secondary effect.
Yes, he does.
And let me see what I want to do here.
He'll make that one, because now I'm rolling good again.
Yeah, I'm just gonna slash him again.
As I said with Lutra, unfortunately he is immune to crits, but you are going to hit. Oh, well, that's a thing. Yeah, that's exactly 50. You are going to hit him.
We're getting a hero point? I mean, a villain point?
No, that's 2 tiers, and he is considered. And that was a solid smack with the scythe.
Considered what? You discorded.
Oh, he's 2 brews 15. It's 1 to 5, 6 to 10, 11 to 15. 15 is on the last possible cusp of 2 bruises and stagger.
Okay, stagger is what we didn't get.
Yes, staggered. Phantasm is up.
So Phantasm saw his eyes, right?
Yes.
Phantasm's like, I can do that too. And like black and green start swirling around him. And the purple, instead of like the normal like aura it sort of has like an electric look to it. And you can actually hear it, like, everyone can hear it like snapping like electricity. And then, yeah, directly at him, he's gonna throw a wind blast.
You definitely hit his dodge. But he said no. There's my 20. Like, your wind hits him square in the chest and doesn't seem to do anything except enrage him even more. Anton, it has been a couple of rounds and you've sort of seen the way he is fighting. Go ahead and give me another insight check, please. Nope, just still familiar to you right now.
I
Continue.
do have assessment that didn't play in here.
No, assessment will not. This is a memory-based check, so it's an insight.
Okay.
But yes, it is your turn.
Alright, we're going to try this. Anton's going to try to summon the spirit of Arthur in this room. So I'll roll this and you can play it how you want to.
Alrighty. Well, what I'm going to need is this is going to require a will check from you, because this is basically going to be an exertion of your will. And depending on the result will depend on how many degrees of fatigue, exhaustion, or incapacitated I'm going to take from you for this to work. I'm not going to take a damn thing from you for this to work. Because apparently, yes, you have figured out where I've hidden my my die roller macro, and yes. Nice 19.
Good time to roll.
You're not wrong. So, as you sort of slam your sword down, you sort of exalt and push your force of will, and Arthur's spirit from this room doesn't do anything. However, the one that's locked away in your sword definitely manifests himself again. And he is now in charge, and going to send you something through DM, because you're going to get some information here. Hold on. And you may proceed with the information you have.
Sir Gawain, stand down. It is I, King Arthur.
Immediately upon hearing Arthur's voice, the flames in his eyes die down, and he is taken a position of fealty on one knee.
Oh, well, that was easy.
In the presence of Arthur, just kind of glances at Anton. Why didn't you do that like 30 minutes ago?
Yeah, that conversation is going on in your head. My liege, how are you here? You're supposed to be behind me.
I was sealed in the sword.
But if you're there, then who's behind me?
Why don't we find out?
Yes, we should. And I'm not going to make you roll for taking the lid off the sarcophagus. But you do, and there is no body inside the sarcophagus, but there is another one of my favorite tropes, a glowing orb.
Nobody. What do you mean,
Hey, look,
nobody?
someone stabbed it with a knife.
What happened the last time you did that?
Nobody.
We didn't.
We got power levels.
Mr. Body's body, it's gone.
Is it 1 + 1 + 2 + 1, or 1 + 2 + 2 + 1?
1 + 2 +
And that's enough clue by 4 for tonight. But yeah, there is a glowing orb of some sort of something in the sarcophagus.
Orb!
So, that's not a body.
No, it's not.
Ven sort of comes up at this point. No, it's definitely not. The closer that Phantasm gets to this sarcophagus, the more the ring reacts. Obviously, you can't have the medallion if you're inside the medallion.
Been a nice trip to the Medallion of Freedom, you know? I mean, it's a nice, kind of a little foggy, but it could be a good vacation spot.
Phantasm returns the katana to its place underneath his cloak and unconjures his other sword.
Lucha puts his crossbow back in his belt.
Phantasm walks up to the head of the casket.
Oh, wait.
Yep, the ring is reacting.
I've seen this movie before. Isn't this where we rub the crayon on the back of the paper on the other side of the sarcophagus lid?
Venture looks, who let him watch Indiana Jones?
Yeah.
Phantasm mutters under his breath. No one would be able to hear it. I know you're here. Where are you?
The ring and the orb flare in unison as you say that.
Is that supposed to be happening?
Maybe? If that's what I think it is.
Well, what do you think it is?
Well, there's only one way to find out if my theory's true. Fant?
Van again whispers under his voice as Ven's approaching, so Ven would be able to hear this. When we do this, please send the others back.
You know it.
As Ven gets there, he reaches out and grabs the orb.
And because we haven't had enough of the trope yet today, more bright white flashes.
Can it be a green flash for a change?
Sure.
I mean, it makes sense with, Phantasm and Ven's, power.
And suddenly, living room.
Ah!
Sans, Fant, and Ven.
Nope. Everyone's there.
Okay,
And
apparently that didn't work.
Nope, it did work because the paper I sent you earlier is now accessible and in play.
Oh, okay. What was that all about?
Well, if that's from what I think it is, then... Fant? Do you have access to what I think you have access to?
Once my computer loads, maybe.
Literally pads over to Finn. Okay, what do you think he has access to? Stop being so vague.
I'm not being vague. I'm being cautious.
Why?
Because my abilities are inherited generation after generation. Once one aspect dies, a new one takes their place. Each aspect, along with the powers, passes along their memories as well. However, in my entire time of doing this, I've had visions from the past from most every era, except one. Never have I been able to access the memories of the aspect of wind from the time of the late 5th century to the early 6th century, also known as the time when King Arthur was alive and ruling.
More importantly, the Medallion of Freedom holds Merlin's memories.
How did the memories get there? As soon as you mentioned Merlin and the ring, I figured that that was the missing aspect of wind I couldn't connect with. But how are the memories stored in the medallion? And more importantly, what do they say?
I wonder if Merlin sealed himself in the medallion, much like he sealed Arthur in the sword.
The thing is, with a sorcerer's power, he doesn't necessarily have to seal his memories anywhere. Sorcerers have the ability to pass along powers as well, and with those past powers, other cognitive happenings may pass along with them, which could be a memory. So any one of those aspects of wind that happen to be encompassed in here could have been someone that may have had contact with Merlin's powers.
So the question remains, why just Merlin? Why just those memories?
I'm not sure, but the memories that I could sort of gather, not that there's many, but I could gather when I touched the orb, very much ties to what Sir Gawain was talking about back there. Because remember, he was referring to Merlin as the traitor.
Why, though?
Do you remember the Lady of the Lake?
I mean, I've read stories about the legend.
She was known as Morgana the Fae. And She hated Merlin, to say the very least. She wanted his power. And there were many wars fought because of Morgana. Not only during the time of Merlin and King Arthur, but also in time since. Many of Merlin's apprentices and bloodline fought wars in attempts to resurrect her. But she actually manipulated both Arthur and Merlin to fight each other. Lady Guinevere was killed.
The mention
And
of the name Guinevere, Anton, I will need a will save. You managed to barely, and I mean barely, keep the anger overflowing from Arthur's spirit inside of you in check. Continue.
Morgana made the death look as if it was the fault of Merlin. However, the true culprit of Lady Guinevere's death was a servant of Morgana. And it was basically that incarnation of hate, the very same one that we got to have a little run-in with not too long ago.
At this point, Anton is no longer able to control the presence of Arthur. He's just kind of overrunning Anton. In disgust of learning the truth now after all these years of hating Merlin for Guinevere's death. And he's just sobbing uncontrollably at the loss of his love, but also the time from his friend that has been taken from him by the evil lady of.
Aww. Lucha pads over and kind of like hugs you.
Strange creature. We must find this lady of the lake, and we must run every weapon and every magical spell through her evil body. Vengeance shall be mine.
Yeah, I think we're kind of all on board with that one.
Assuming...
Phantasm looks at Ven and just gives a second's pause and says, "You don't think."
I do.
That makes this all so much more complicated.
Yes, it does.
He looks over at Anton and Lutra and Malkir, and he says, "I have a very strong feeling that Regana is very much the same as Kismet.
Okay.
So that just leaves one question then. How do we get to her? How do we stop her?
That's two questions.
We unlock the rest of Merlin's memories. He'll know the way.
And how do we do that? Memory magic is not something I know very much about. That's kind of the opposite of what I do. I free things, I don't imprison them. Memories are definitely more of a prison. That's definitely more in the style of earth magic.
Oh, well, we used to have an earth pendant, but...
Yeah, I know. I'm aware of this. I can sense Anton's memories as well. We must find that other half of him and get it back.
I think he's still around. It's 15 years ago.
Someone has the amulet.
That's true.
And half of Anton had that amulet last anyone's.
That's true.
So if we don't know how to unlock memories, we know, it's not that hard to figure out where she is. The giant floating castle over the Bermuda Triangle.
Oh, she has a castle now. Nice.
It's floating?
Yeah.
Missed that part.
Step out the back door and look over the horizon.
Lucha steps out the back door and looks over the horizon.
You can just hear Arthur. That's my castle.
You are 100% correct. That is, in fact, Tintagel Castle.
Wow. Okay, so, she took your castle and put it in the sky.
That appears to be correct, little furry otter thing.
Lucha. My name's Lucha.
Nice to meet you, Lucha.
Nice to meet you too, Arthur. Or King Arthur. Sorry.
Well, if we don't know how... Wait a minute. I think I know how to get into that castle.
We could take the jet, I guess.
Arthur would know about the other aspects, right? About their existence with Merlin.
He would. He knew aspects existed. In his time, he only would have known Merlin as the aspect of wind. He definitely would not have run into Exicon, who is the aspect of fire, who you guys actually fought the dragon form of him. He would not know of who the aspect of water was in his time. And for some strange reason, you cannot access any memories of who the aspect of earth was during his time.
Then, I cannot remember the aspect. Who's the current aspect of Earth? Could we seek them out?
I don't know. My vision, my powers, my job, as you all well know who were there, is to protect other aspects. I only get visions when something is going to happen to them. I've never gotten a vision of the aspect of Earth. So I couldn't tell you. But what I do know is I've tried approaching the castle before. There's a massive barrier there. But we have something here that could potentially break it. We just need to give it a little nudge in the right direction. We kind of need to restore it.
Oh?
And as he says that, Ven looks down at the sheath on Anton's waist.
Huh?
Excalibur.
That would do it.
The reason Excalibur is as powerful a sword as it was is because of the way it was crafted and forged. The material that was used to create it is one thing. However, there's an ancient form of magic that is very hard to find someone proficient in nowadays. But back during the time of the Arthurian legends, it was much more commonplace. Excalibur is what's known as a rune blade. Magical runes inscribed on it, giving it power, a connection to its wielder, connection to a chosen one. If we can restore Excalibur to the way it was intended to be, we might just be able to cut through Kismet's barrier. I just wouldn't know where to start.
Do we have a library of Merlin's works? He was the best runesmith of the time.
That would be something for Phantasm if he can access that part of the memories. Is there anything in Merlin's memories that you can access that would tell us where we might be able to find a way to purge Excalibur of its corruption?
Phantasm closes his eyes and concentrates very, very hard. The fiery pit. The flames will purge it. Mount Etna, the volcano.
So, what you're saying is the only way to purify that sword is to go inside an active volcano.
I mean, it sounds about right, yeah.
Kind of really the one thing we haven't done yet.
If someone tells me this is going to require any sort of sacrifice of purity, I'm out of here.
We're just gonna throw the otter in.
Hey!
I mean, based on the definition, he does qualify.
We also have a guy who kind of is fire, so that helps.
Do we trust him with a sword? He can barely handle a Sudoku.
I didn't say I trusted him, I'm just saying we have him.
I'll be carrying the sword.
If you give me a little while, I can concoct something that would at least make it so you don't die of heat exhaustion?
I mean, that'd be nice. You might also find something that keeps fur from being engulfed in flame. As Anton looks over at
Oh god, burnt fur is the worst smell ever.
Yeah, I'd rather not go through that again. I've already had my fur screwed up way too much after meeting all of you.
And as if on cue, Ven gives a little gust of wind and Lutra now has a mohawk. But that never gets old.
Honestly, if I'm them, I'm not even worried about the heat.
The chick's over there. What do you mean never gets old? You've never done that before.
Well, not to you.
Oh.
And what do you mean not worried about the heat?
I mean, it's not so much of an issue for me, but asphyxiation would be more of a detriment to them. It would kill them a lot faster.
Oh yeah, I forget. I have that same thing you do. It doesn't matter to me.
Yeah, breathing is important.
Just a little.
I mean, I suppose. I mean, breathing is a lot easier for me to deal with than elements than heat. So I can definitely make it so you guys can breathe. That's easy.
That would have been an awkward end to our trip there.
Yeah, a little bit. A little bit. So I guess
How
with
long will
that,
it take you to get that taken care of?
well, if I work through the night, I can have everything ready in about 8 hours. You guys should get some rest.
Anton at this point is physically exhausted from having his own presence, and Arthur's just goes and lays down and passes out.
I guess he's taking the couch. Would you guys like the spare room?
Sure.
Before Phantasm heads to the room, he goes and knocks on Graham's door.
He goes to what?
Knock on Graham's door.
Hello?
Hey, Graham.
Yes?
I apologize for taking your ring earlier, but you think I could borrow it for a little bit longer?
Go right ahead. It's not my ring.
It was still in your possession.
True. It belongs to Dad.
Well, it will be a big help. So thank you.
Then go save the world, huh?
I think that's been the plan for the past, 15 years.
You just hear Anton snoring in the living room.
Well, actually, before Anton totally passes out, is he still Arthur, by the way?
Your pick. It's
yeah.
It's
So before
For this, I need this to be Arthur.
yeah, you do actually. So before you completely pass out, as Lucha's kind of padding around and whatnot, he kind of like stands next to the sofa or whatever. Like, hey, King Arthur, King Arthur, sir.
yes, Lucha.
I've been thinking a lot ever since you told us you were king, and I got a question that's kind of been bugging me ever since you told us that. I was wondering if you could answer it just real quick for me.
Anything to get you to go away and let me sleep.
Oh, yeah, well, it'll be real quick, I promise. Just real quick, which king are you?
I am King Arthur, King of the Britons.
Right, yeah, but there's 4 kings. I know this. I've played this game before. So, there's the hearts, there's the spades, the clubs, and the diamonds. Which one are you exactly?
What are these kings of hearts and diamonds? And I have not heard of these things.
Oh, you haven't? Oh, well, it's part of this card game. I figured it had to be based on reality, but I guess maybe not.
What's a card game?
Oh, it's a game you play with cards. There's all different kind of numbers and suits, and you can do a lot of different games actually with them. One I like to play is solitaire because I don't really ever have anyone to play with. It's a game you can play by yourself, and I never really had anyone to play anything with.
Arthur just reaches up and pats Lucha on the head. Go to bed, furry thing.
Okay. Thank you. Bye. Lucha pads away.
And I believe this is going to be the first time I'm not cliffhanging us in a long time. But I figured
Wait,
ending
an episode
on...
that doesn't end in a cliffhanger? Are we sure this is the right show?
Right?
I know, right? I've become self-aware. I know my tropes. I address my tropes. But I figure ending on "go to bed, free little thing" is the best line we could have. So tune in next week for... I already actually have the title ready to go for the Book of Fate, Chapter 5, Fata Morgana. So tune in next week for that. Thank you all very much for watching. Have a wonderful rest of your night. And, of course, on behalf of the lovely cast of characters we have here, I am your host, the Green Infector, reminding everybody to, of course, keep hailing.